Hi, come in, make yourself at home. Help yourself to sweets. By the way, your hair looks good. It suits you. You're welcome. Don't mention it. Not at all. I'm not trying to flatter you. It's true.
On the whole, I think that hairdressers are a waste of time. But I'm afraid it was necessary already. Incidentally, please give this PDF to Fernando for me. I'm afraid the file is too big to send in an email. Speaking of BlaBlaCar, it's a case where both the driver and the passenger get something out of the deal. It's what Stephen Covey calls a win-win situation. I hate to admit it, but I quite like Stephen Covey. By the way, Antonio sends his regards. I was speaking to him a couple of days ago, and I was getting really upset over a delivery. We are currently in our peak period, and we are struggling to cope with demand. Some of our suppliers have let us down, and he was laughing at me. You know, I was swearing like a sailor. I think he forgave me though. Anyway, he let me get away with it. I have spoken to him on several occasions, and I have to say, he's a nice guy, and a hard worker. He's one of the good guys. I never thought I would be able to deliver a presentation, but now I'm pretty sure I can do it. So I'm quite pleased. This situation is not too stressful, and it's a chance to overcome my own barriers. Please bear with me, I haven't done this before. It's a long presentation, but I'm going to skip through it. The idea is that it's for me to practice. This presentation is useful for practicing. It pays in this job to have the gift of the gab. To be able to bullshit.
I was thinking, you could record yourself when you're doing the presentation. Then again, maybe it's better not to hear yourself. It always sounds strange to hear your own voice. It's up to you. Anyway, don't forget the 10, 20 and 30 seconds rule of presenting. Keep the writing to a minimum. Okay. When you're ready, in your own time.
So, without further ado, I'll get started. This presentation is based on our new range. On impulse purchases, so they need to be in line of sight. This presentation was put together by Jerry's from Greenpoint, which is a trade marketing company. I'm sure he won't mind me sharing it with you. He's trying to teach or to show us how to change our point of view. To create needs that we didn't know we had. There are 3 important factors when selling a house: location, location, and location. It's the same when selling a product. Our main objective is to create a visual impact. You have to keep in mind, it's not about moving the product, it's about raising brand awareness. First and foremost, our products need to be compliant with regulations. To comply with all of the European standards. But basically, it needs to fulfill several criteria. It needs to be eye-catching, but also it needs to be elegant, which is to say, it needs to be neat and tidy. Of course, it's related to the kind of customers we are targeting. The most interesting thing here is its size. We can put it on the shelf, or at the head or the end of the aisle. Essentially, to take maximum advantage of the space. It can come with a door, or without. It also has LED lights. I have to say, Will, that pronunciation of that word, LED, is the least of my problems. As I was saying before, it's important to have the coolers at eye level. These coolers are usually positioned behind the counter, or on top of the cigarette machines. To be honest, I don't know what these energy drinks are like, as I've never tried them before. At the end of the day, it's essentially caffeine, isn't it? On the left you can see the cooler with newspaper racks, and also some shelf space. And on the right we have the same as the previous one, but it's smaller. As you can see, this solution offers a good union of refrigerated and non-refrigerated products. It's what we call an overhead hanging freezer. It's just a prototype at the moment. This one is designed to be put at the checkout desk, under the shelf. Moving on to the next slide, what we have here is the Peltier model. However, I don't think it will work in Spain. I'm afraid it won't be able to cope with the temperature. So with regards to the future, I think the way forward is above all to increase brand awareness. Red Bull are a case in point. They are the benchmark in this field. They have carved out a niche market for themselves. Of course, there are some drawbacks. First of all, the designs are not produced by us. But in our favor, we are offering a tailor-made product. And it's a way for us to get our foot in the door. To show them that we can serve their needs. We need to come up with a breakthrough product. As you know, the beverage sector focuses on fast-moving consumer goods. FMCGs. Anything that expires within a year. Unfortunately, we have made some silly mistakes with Coca-Cola. We need to look at our business model. We need to think about streamlining. We are looking at lean manufacturing. The problem that needs to be addressed here is to provide value at the same or reduced cost. We need to increase margins. But customers do not like to pay up front. We need a different mentality to approach and to address this issue. For example, Fager has just launched a new product. But I'm afraid we aren't doing anything new. We need to invest in the R&D department.
So, what I recommend is preparing a presentation in English, but focusing on the business model. That way you can kill two birds with one stone.
In a perfect world, management would listen to their sales team. After all, we're the ones in the field. We have first-hand experience. But, you know how it is. Okay, changing the subject. My passion is travel. I want to find out what's going on in the world, to discover new people and places.
You know what they say. Travel broadens the mind. It gives you a new perspective. To see things from a different point of view.
But you know how people are, the unknown is feared. I think we can blame religion and the church. There are a lot of Spanish-speaking people all over the world. Having said that, in the old days many languages were outlawed in Spain. It's a very insular behavior. Thankfully, behavior has been changing in the last few years. People also say that the Irish and the Spanish get on very well together. Maybe it's because of religion. Recently I have been making an effort to understand the lyrics. I can catch one or two words. I also like reading books in English. Obviously, I might miss some of the nuances of the language. But I understand on the whole, and that's what's important. Did you know, apparently, speaking two or more languages decreases the incidence of Alzheimer's? When I was a kid, I don't think my teacher understood English at all, not a word. Nevertheless, we called her Miss Presentation. But I'm afraid, she didn't have a clue how to deal with kids. Actually, we can make a comparison between teachers nowadays and those I grew up with. Teachers, currently, are good at their jobs, but I think the fault lies with the system, and of course with the parents. When they get home they don't have enough energy to deal with their kids. But that's no excuse. If you can't cope, you shouldn't have her kids in the first place. You have to have responsibility. Above all, you are a mother. At every moment your responsibility is to provide. That can make us a little opinionated. I have strong opinions. I'm not afraid to express my opinion, but that doesn't mean that I don't listen. It's always easier to say yes to your kids than to argue. But it's not necessarily the best thing to do. You also have to bear in mind that you're dealing with a person, at every moment. Take my son for example, he really loves traveling. He loves it. I've always taken him traveling around with me. Ever since he was born. And when I get the chance, or a spare moment, I spend it with him. I know I can't be a perfect person, and as I always tell my son, I don't know everything. When I tell him to do something, he is perfectly entitled to question me. I believe we need to place more importance on manners. It's common courtesy. Whenever we're out walking and we bump into people, or come across different people, I've taught him to say hello. It's something that Spain could do better at. After all, we are a service economy. You shouldn't have to get used to bad service. At the end of the day, everything is training and education. You know, looking at freezers in supermarkets is an occupational hazard, so don't worry, it's normal.